It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and ranking our top power forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Remember, not behind gambling. I don't know how many comments I get after all of these videos. Yo, Ty, where is Bull rank? Okay, let's use our brains here. Any of these guys that are dark matters or higher are probably at S tier. There's not one card up here that I'm like, man, I really don't like or really want it ranked. They're all good, okay? Even Patrick Ewing, a Mech Oak 4, they're all good. Now, for Galaxy Opals, again, it's a little bit different, but I mean, let's be honest. If it's a card that you can only obtain behind gambling right now in my team that's a Galaxy Opal or Dark Matter, I'm probably going to say the card is really good. So that's just something to think about while heading into this video. No cards behind gambling are going to be on this. But again, if you have a card such as like a Bulbo, such as like a, I don't know, Galaxy Opal Chet, obviously I'd recommend running them. Those cards are so good in my team. Just something to think about. We're going to start it off at Poku. Poku at the power forward position is fine. He is just kind of skinny, so just beware of that. Not to say it's bad or unusable, but he does have that kind of skinny player model, which obviously does hurt him. I feel like at that power forward position, I don't want to say he's going to get bullied, but isn't going to be as good as at that small forward position. So that's just kind of me and my mindset on Poku. Again, pretty solid release on Quick. Again, solid player build. 7 feet tall is going to be able to compete and get you some stops. I just overall think there are probably better options at that power forward position, but Poku, fine. If he is a card that you want to run at that power forward position, by all means do it. 42,000 MT, and he is a card that can somewhat compete at that top level. Şengün up next. I think Şengün's A tier, possibly S tier. Şengün domination reward. If you did grind the domination for that LeBron James, you got a really good outprint Şengün card. A card that, again, I am really high on. Now, there's another Galaxy Opal that I'm going to rank right up there with Şengün. You guys probably know exactly who I'm talking about. That I think is basically identical to Şengün. I'm just going to get to it right now if I can find him here on this list. And that's Nikola Jokic. A tier easily for Jokic. Y'all see what Jokic does? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say this. I think the gap between Jokic and the second best player in the league is wider than the gap between the second and the 10th best player in the league. I really believe that. Like, I think Jokic is that elite in real life, but in 2K, right up there with Şengün. Both cards, if you have, I personally probably would run them unless, again, you have some of those top level power forwards in my team. Anthony Davis, again, perfect example. Dark Matter Anthony Davis, obviously S tier. Now, again, how does he rank compared to like a Bulbo Chet? You guys can decide that. I'm not into all that because I don't have all those cards. AD B tier. I think that's the right spot for him. Still think defensively gonna get you a lot more stops than a guy like Alexei Pokachevsky, so that's why Poku's at C tier with AD being at B tier. But yeah, AD's release still on normal timing with that pink diamond, but everything else on the court he is going to do at just an incredible level. So that's where I'm at with obviously Anthony Davis, with Poku, all of those cards. Pink Diamond AD offensively, it really is not ideal. Bam. Here's the tough part. I think Bam is close to being B tier, but I still think he's C tier because even compared to Anthony Davis, AD is 6'10", and his player build feels like he's 6'11", 7 feet tall. With Bam, he's what, 6'9", and his player build feels like that. He's just undersized at that power forward position. It's really that simple. Blake Griffin, I mean, he's undersized, but he probably is wider. I'm going to put Blake Griffin at B tier. I think Blake might be better at the power forward position than the small forward position. It's weird to say that, where Poku's probably better at small forward, but I feel like Blake, with his wide player model, player build, his wide frame, can go out there and compete at the power forward position. And since his release isn't that good, since its movement's not good, I feel like power forward is probably the best position for Blake. Bryant Reeves, as much as Carlo wants to gas this card, he's pretty mid, C tier. I'm not believing in all the hype. Chet up next. I'm going to go B tier with Chet. I actually like Chet. I still use him on my Nobody's Pet Squad series. Is he as good as Şengün or Jokic, though? He's not. And again, this is coming from somebody who uses Chet. I use Pink Diamond Chet. I still think to this day he can go out there and compete, but he's not that top level good in my team. Christian Laettner, I don't know why he gets any hate. I literally don't know. Now, do I have Christian Laettner? No. But when I look at Christian Laettner's stats, when I look at his badge, when I look at his animations, the card to me looks fine. You guys can let me know down below if you have Christian Laettner and don't like him, what's wrong with the card. Because again, I don't have the card, so I can't really say, oh, well, he should be B tier. But from what I see, I do like the overall potential of the card. Dan Issel, he don't actually look that bad. Is A tier crazy for Dan Issel? Salary cap reward this time around is Dan Issel. I don't think he's horrible, but I don't necessarily want to buy into the hype of Dan Issel either. I think A tier is probably the right spot. David Robinson, our first S tier caliber player. It's sad he's no longer in salary cap. Like, all you can get out of salary cap now is playoff deluxe cards, when before you could pull D-Rob, you could pull Wilt, you could pull your favorite Galaxy Opal out of there. Now, it's not the case. You get a playoff deluxe card. Now, obviously, I've seen some people pull some good things out of playoff deluxe cards, but your odds of that are not good. DeMarcus Cousins, A tier. DeMarcus Cousins is actually available from, I think it's that level 37 pack. I actually got him on my main account. He's fine. I've used him. I've knocked down a couple of shots with him. I really do like his release. The problem with DeMarcus Cousins, or the downfall, the one thing I wish was a little bit better, is I wish his defense was just a little better. And maybe I'm, picking out the negatives in cards, but that's my job to do. Offensively, DeMarcus Cousins is great. Defensively, leaves a lot to be desired. Derek Coleman, not good in my team. Dino Raja is good. Dino, it's tough though. I think he is A tier. I think he is. Do I love Dino? Do I think the card's perfect? No, but because of how good he is defensively, I do think he is deserving of being an A tier caliber player on this tier list. Domantas Sabonis, I like him more as the center than power forward, but I do think he's deserving of A tier. I'm going to have to shift some people around because I don't like the way this tier list is going. So, I mean, here we go. Bryant Reeves, you're going down because I really don't like Bryant Reeves, and I know people are going to get mad at that, but he's just overall mid. I'm gonna move some cards down. I just got to. It's the way this list has to be. So I'm gonna have only the elite of the elite here at A tier. So I'm gonna move some people down. I don't know if this is right, wrong, or whatever. But I've got to do what I've got to do. Jabari Smith Jr. at this stage, C tier, does have that release on quick, going to knock down shots for you guys. But at the end of the day, is that enough for him to be higher than C tier? No, I still think defensively he's just a little too small, in my opinion. Worthy, undersized, I'm still thinking B tier, because him or Blake Griffin, give me James Worthy. Him or Bam, give me James Worthy. Like him or Dino, I don't know who I'm taking, but James Worthy's definitely up for debate. I know he's undersized, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's got a smooth enough release. He's going to knock down shots. His defense is overall really solid. Big game James, B tier. Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, I like Jaren, but he's C tier. He's more on the level of Anthony Davis, in my opinion. But then, does Dino deserve B tier? I don't know. This is getting tough, man. And this is why tier lists are so tough, because it's like the difference between my B tier and C tier really is not a whole lot. So Jaren, I like him, but I do think he's probably more on the level of C tier. I just do. Joel Embiid up next. Man, that was crazy. Did y'all see the dunk of Joel Embiid and then just see him fall? It was kind of sad. You can tell, like, people who say that he's fine and he just needs to trust it, but I don't know. Something doesn't look right with Joel Embiid. I'm going to go A tier. I think the card is solid, can compete at the highest level. Might be better at the center position, though. Cat, B tier. Cat's release is just so bad. Y'all see Cat, he was hooping yesterday in a game 1. Honestly, playing really, really well, especially just coming back from his injury as well. But do think B tier is probably the right spot for Cat. Still has that bad release that 2K can't get past. Karl Malone at this stage, I think, is D tier. And I'm on record. When Karl Malone came out, I really liked the card. But the card came out, what, 4 months ago at this stage? Like, at this stage, D tier is the right spot. Kevin Love, just too undersized. He's only 6'8". I mean, B tier probably is the right spot, but Kevin Love is so undersized, which makes it just so tough. Does have a good release, offensively going to be immaculate, but man, only being 6'8" at this stage of my team just seems crazy. Larry Marketing at the 4. I'm going to go B tier probably. I think he's better at the 3, because at the 4, I mean, again, the whole height kind of gets ruined because 7 feet tall at the 4 really isn't that special. The only really nice part about him is if you run him at the 3, you get something that a lot of people don't have. 7 feet tall at the 3 is absolutely cheesy. Marc Gasol, I'll always love Marc Gasol. Power forward, center, it doesn't matter. A tier for me. Again, free locker code, you can get Marc Gasol, who I am just so high on. Moses Malone, You guys can hate me. I'm going S tier. I think Moses is better than Shango. I think he's better than DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Domantas Sabonis. And this is coming from somebody in myself. I don't have Moses Malone. Okay, I didn't grind for Moses Malone. But the card is really good. If you got him, definitely would run him. Vooch up next, D tier. I just don't see it with Vooch. Paolo Banchero, small forward or power forward, really good. I'm going to go B tier. Do like it more at that small forward position. But again, if you want to play him, I don't like this. I want to put him at A tier. I'm going to put Paolo at A tier. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care. I really do like Paolo. I really respect the card. To me, he is an A tier power forward. Rafe LaFrenz up next. I'm on record for saying I like Rafe. Probably like him more at center than power forward. B tier is the right spot. Thurl Bailey at this stage, C tier. Again, another one of those long, lengthy, small forwards that you can play at the power forward position. I just don't know. Like, for me, I just feel like, I don't know, small forward's the best position for Thurl, and he's just outdated. Like, that's the whole thing with some of these cards is, like, they were really good for their time, even like Karl Malone. But at this stage of my team, it's tough for me to still gas you. It's been how long? Like, your time is came. Your time is gone. Tyrus Thomas, A tier. Don't care. Power forward position, Tyrus Thomas is absolutely elite. Same thing with Tyson Chandler. I do not care. At this stage, I still think Tyson Chandler is one of the overall better power forwards in the entire game. And I know he gets overlooked at this point, but he still goes out there and plays great defense. Walker Kessler, C tier. Don't really know if I love the card. Will Chamberlain, like him more at power or at center than power forward. But even at power forward, I'm putting him at S tier. I think because of what Wilt and D-Rob give you defensively, it's tough to not put them at S tier. It's sad that they got replaced in mode rewards because honestly, by just simply playing the game a week or two ago, you could have gotten two really solid cards in D-Rob and in Wilt. Yalen at this stage, C tier. His times came, his times went. Amari Stoudemire, this is tough. Only 6'10", do like him more at that small forward position, but even at the power forward position, A tier and close to S tier. Like, I honestly want to put him at S tier. And you know what? I'm going to. You guys don't have to agree with me. I'm putting Amari at S tier. If you get Amari Stoudemire, I can't make the case that Moses Malone is better than him. I just can't. Like, I genuinely can't. I'm moving Moses down. Because I can't make that case. As much as I like Moses and want to respect Moses, because he was a free reward, Amari's better than the card. Derek Lively, maybe okay at center. Power forward, he's got way too low of a 3-ball. Bill Russell, I'm putting you at S tier too. I just am. Like, there's not anybody at A tier that I'm running over Bill Russell, and I know people want to clown me for that, but Bill Russell is S tier. Like, if you're not talking about him compared to the gambling cards, he is absolutely elite and definitely deserves S tier. Kenya Martin, I really like the card. I'm gonna go B tier. No, I'm gonna go B tier. Still only 6'9", a little undersized, but Kenya Martin is still really, really good in my team. I want to know your thoughts on my tier list down below in the comments. This isn't one of my more favorite ones that I've done, just because I feel like there are just a lot of solid power forwards in my team. So you have to let me know, who is I too high on, who is I too low on down below in the comments. Again, it's tough to do. Like, even when I'm talking about S tier, it's really tough to do. But I just want you to know, if you happen to get David Robinson at a salary cap or Wilt Chamberlain at a clutch time offline, those guys are still staples of what I would include in your lineup. And again, any of these small power forwards like Chet would be S tier. Like a guy like Hakeem would be S tier. Like a guy like Giannis would be S tier. Pat Ewing, Emeka Okafor, S tier, S tier. Victor Wembanyama, S tier. Sean Kemp, probably S tier. That's why I don't rank the Dark Matter gambling cards. All of them would be S tier anyways. That's going to wrap it up for our tier list today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.